Teaching forms one of the three primary legs of a university, the other being research and meaningful community engagement. At the University of KwaZulu-Natal, we elected, I think, to recognize research and teaching and learning. Every year, a number of candidates are submitted by the various faculties in the innovation of teaching and learning methods in the institution, but also as role models for other academics in the university in the way teaching is best practiced. And for this reason, this has become an important component of the university's culture.
My name is Corrie Schoeman. I'm an evolutionary ecologist working specifically on animal populations and communities. I have a particular interest in flying mammals. In other words, I work more on bats than any other mammal. What is fascinating about bats is that they comprise more than a third of all living mammals. And they play a fundamentally important role in ecosystem functioning across a whole range of different biomes. Of course, working with nocturnal mammals presents certain challenges, particularly trying to incorporate your research into the classroom. This means that one has to be creative in the classroom in terms of using audiovisual material to give the student a first taste of what it is like to work with these creatures, what the conditions are like, and what the potential is for exciting research.
Indlela ibuzwa phambili, basically meaning that we learn from those who've gone before us. I can explain Corrie as one of the people that are passionate about what they do, and that shows in the way he teaches us and the way he interacts with us as his students.
Corrie's teaching style is unique. He encourages his students, and at the same time he's strict, he's fair, and like all bio lecturers, he's a bit off his rocker. He always makes his lectures entertaining. And he makes you pay attention. For example, his slides usually have very little words on them, but lots of pictures. So if you think you're going to get away with not coming to a lecture and get the slides online, you're going to fail, because he makes sure that you can't do that. All of the information is what he says, not what he shows. And he always has cool pictures up. Lots and lots of bat photos everywhere, all the time.
He's the one lecturer you know he's going to come prepared. He has the slides there, but he's never ever going to look at them. And that shows you that this person knows what he's doing, he's passionate about it, and he actually likes it. And it rubs off of you. I mean, when you come to varsity as a student, you don't know what you're doing, you don't know why you're doing it. And he's one of those people that actually, through his passion and the way he's enthusiastic about his doing, you get inspired in a way.
Some of the things Corrie's classes are famous for is his jokes. He has a wicked sense of humor, and he keeps the class entertained. It's not strictly business the whole time. He always puts in a joke or two, and it grabs the class's attention. Also, the way he teaches, his teaching style is immaculate. It's one of the best. I mean, compared to all the lecturers I've had in undergrad, he's my best lecturer.
Corrie's enthusiasm is one thing that makes you want to go to lectures. And then, like I said, his never, ever, ever having information on the slides means if you want to pass the module, you have to go to lectures. He doesn't read off of slides either, which means that he's far more easy to focus on. You get lecturers who just read off of slides, word for word, what the slide says, and he tends to not do that. So, I mean, if reading a slide was all we were going to do, we could just do that at home. the fact that he doesn't do that means you want to come in because you want to hear what he has to say.
A colleague of mine nominated me for the Distinguished Teacher Award. And so he gave me a heads up to say that he nominated me, but I shelved it far in the back rooms of my psyche because one has learned over the years not to get too excited about awards.
The Teaching and Learning Office has done a great job in nominating and awarding Corrie with this award. He deserves it. It's been a long time coming. In my eyes, he's one of the best lecturers that the university has.
I would say congratulations, and it's a long time coming. Definitely deserved this award. He is a brilliant researcher, a brilliant teacher, inspirational as a person and as an academic, and he definitely deserved this award.
Corrie, ngiyajabula ukuthi ngifundiswa wena. Maningi ama-lecturer akhona la esikoleni, kodwa umunye obunqo phambili usifundisile ngokuyithanda into engiyenzayo, ungifundisa ukuthi ngibe umuntu confident and ngibe umuntu oyithandayo into engiyenzayo. I hope ukuthi uqhubeke phambili nokufundisa, babe baningi abazofundiswa wena, babe baningi abazohamba esandleni sakho, and ngiyabongisa ngokuthola le award oyitholile. Ngifisa ukuthi ungaqhubeka uthola amanye ama-award amaningi phambili. Loosely translated, this means that I'm grateful to have been taught by you, and I hope that you get even more awards in the future, and I hope that many people go through you and they listen to you and they learn your teachings. And I wish you all the best with the future and everything that you do. You're a great lecturer, you're a great researcher, and you're a great person. I'm grateful to have known you.
And so it was fantastic to feel valued by the university for the kind of efforts that we try and put into our teaching since I've started here at UKZN, for that matter.
I'm honored to present for the Distinguished Teachers Award of the University of KwaZulu-Natal in recognition of distinguished contribution in teaching and learning, Corrie Schoeman.
I think ultimately I would like to be remembered not only for the quality research that I have pursued in my laboratory, but perhaps more importantly, I would like my students to remember me as putting them on a path of self-discovery and intense research into important issues that have to be resolved, not only on this continent, but also elsewhere. And so perhaps I would like to be remembered as a well-rounded academic, somebody that was exceptionally passionate about his research, but at the same time also had great passion about taking students to a place where they can fulfill their potential. I think that is perhaps even more important than any accolades I might achieve within my own lifetime. I think ultimately it is what my students will be able to do in their lifetimes that will be a true measure of my legacy. From an evolutionary perspective, that would be the best measure of my fitness as an academic over time.
My name is Anthony Collins. I'm a lecturer in psychology with a specific interest in the area of critical social psychology and an unhealthy obsession with depressing things like violence and psychological trauma in South Africa. I was very surprised when I got the call saying that I'd been awarded the Distinguished Teaching Award. It wasn't that I thought that I wouldn't get it, but I'd sort of forgotten about it. I'd heard that I'd been nominated, and I was pretty pleased about that because I was nominated by my students, and that was quite flattering. I mean, I really felt like my work was being appreciated by the people it was actually meant for. And then for a couple of months didn't hear anything, and then suddenly got this phone call saying, oh, you've got the Distinguished Teaching Award, and I thought, wow, that's really great. Finally there's some sense that this stuff that I spend my days and nights and weekends doing is actually feeding into some system that's recognizing it.
Okay, well, Anthony Collins is great because he is different from all the other lecturers. I think that a lot of the lecturers only care about their students' academic performance and, like what they're bringing into the university. But for some reason, Anthony actually cares about us holistically.
Towards him. Yeah, there were some other things going on.
First thing about him is that he takes really interesting material and he spins it around. He doesn't just look at the theories, he looks at the social problem that we have and then he builds theories around that, and you get to be part of that process where you build the theories. And so right from the beginning, the way he constructs his courses are really, really interesting.
I think he's kind of encouraged me to think about what I would find the most fulfilling and to try to do that as much as possible.
I think what makes Anthony Collins unique in this process is the fact that he always tries to make the students think about things differently, to try and make them see things differently. I remember when I first took one of his courses when I was in second year, and just going through the readings that we were doing in the course, they just blew my mind and made me think about things in a different way. And I remember thinking, well, this is why I came to university. This is what I wanted to be exposed to different kinds of ways of thinking and to be critical of the kinds of things, the kind of knowledge that I've been exposed to in the past.
One of my main areas of teaching is around violence in South Africa, and this is quite interesting because surprisingly, although it's a big topic, no one teaches on it. There are no existing courses anywhere that focus specifically on the topic of how to understand why South Africa is violent and what we can do about it. And that concerned me, so I thought, well, if the courses don't exist, I'll make them. And so I started tinkering around in this area, bringing together various ideas, and actually developing a undergraduate course looking at the question of how we can understand violence and what we can do about it. And linked to that, I've developed other courses looking at questions of, from a more psychological point of view, of dealing with people who've experienced violence, people who've been victimized in various ways, and how psychology can intervene and provide support. But the first question I want to ask you is what feelings did you have when you were watching This Is England?
How he should be feeling about things for himself yet, and like all he's feeling is that he's sad that his father has died. He doesn't know how to deal with it, and now he's being forced to believe that if he doesn't carry on fighting his father's war.
And often it's not exactly the way we imagine it. When we think about violence in South Africa, we tend to think about sort of criminals. We think about robbers and hijackers and people like that. In fact, that accounts for relatively little of the violence in the country. A lot of this stuff is things that just go on in everyday life. It's people in relationships getting into fights, it's drunk guys beating each other up, it's people hitting their children, it's bullying at schools. So violence is really a much bigger topic than people often realize, and it isn't just the topic of crime, which is generally dealt with by criminologists. So I've become increasingly interested in mapping that out, both in terms of teaching, but also in terms of research and theoretical analysis. I'm trying to develop an explanatory model that helps us understand what's going on in South Africa in terms of violence.
Congratulations, Anthony. I honestly believe that you are the best candidate for this, and I think that if there is someone who wins this award, they obviously must be the best lecturer in the entire world, because you honestly stand out from the rest in more ways than one. So thank you.
I'd like to really congratulate Anthony on winning this award. I think he really deserves it. There is no other teacher like him, that I've ever come across. And the skills and the tools he's given me and the way of thinking that he's taught me to develop have changed my life. So I think he's a very deserved winner of this award, and the panel did a great job in selecting him.
I'd like to take this opportunity to congratulate the distinguished teachers who are being recognized this year, both at the graduation and at the special gala dinner. We wish them well into the future, and we are very proud of their achievement since it demonstrates some of the very best teaching the university has to offer.